The LuggageWorks Stealth Premier 22-inch 737 rolling bag coming up. So when I was looking for my first rolling bag as an airline pilot, of course, I go to YouTube, where else, to try and find some videos on some of those bags. Well, I found that I couldn't find a video on this particular bag, so I thought I would do one for you. I can't say that this is going to be much of a review, as I've only used this on 3 trips so far, but at least you can get an idea of the way it is set up and how you might use it, or maybe not even choose it. So around the edges here, we do have an aluminum frame. That cuts down on the weight a little bit. I believe the original had a steel frame, which was much heavier, and this one is rated at 11 3/4 pounds, although it doesn't feel very heavy with nothing in it. This panel right here is also made of aluminum. And you can see that we have a handle on this side, nothing on this side, and we'll get to that in just a few minutes. On the back, we got a pouch here and a pouch back here. I keep a pair of flip-flops back here because I don't know what else to keep back here. Since this is going to be laid on this side most often, I honestly don't know what you would keep back here. I don't know that I would want to keep a tablet or a computer back here. It would fit, but it would be vulnerable to damage if it was back here. So I don't know what you normally put back here. Papers would get wrinkled. On the side here, you can see that it's pretty clean. It only has this one pocket on it, being the 737 model. They went without any pockets on the sides because of where they go on the 737, they get caught. There's one pouch here. I just keep an alarm clock in that pouch. It does have a hook in here so you can put keys or whatever else on there. But I carry an alarm clock with me in that pouch because I've been to hotel rooms that don't have an alarm clock, and I don't like using my phone. Also on this side, you can see that the strap is tied in to this edge right here. This is the strap that goes around the front. On the other side here, we can see that there are no pockets or pouches, and again, that's due to the 737 model, so that it doesn't get caught on that cubby where you store it on the 737. On the edge, it is metal. That's gonna be where most of your wear happens because you're setting it down while it's rolling and it's gonna slide on this edge, and you can see that's where most of the wear is happening. And again, only 3 trips in. We have rollerblade wheels here held in with a bolt. Now, I did see a video where the person was trying to change these out, and due to corrosion, due to like moisture, snow, rain, or whatever, there was some corrosion in here, and the bolt got stuck in this edge and snapped this corner off. So be careful if you need to change this out. This bolt is actually finger loose. I can unscrew this with my finger, so that may not be the greatest, so I'll have to keep an eye on that. But you can replace these, and they roll nice and smooth. And here's what it looks like towards the back edge. The metal wraps around, and then it's got a separate metal piece back here. This is not nearly as thick or heavy of gauge as the bottom. On the top here, we have a handle. This is replaceable, held in with 2 screws. We have buckles here. These are metal. And then we have the classic big hook and a pull-out handle. It is held in with this strap with a snap, and it pulls up nice and smooth and just locks into place. This handle is rubberized texture. I'm not the biggest fan of this type of rubber because over time they become very sticky. So I'm guessing that that is probably going to happen with this as well. And that could be a problem in the future. I might have to get a wrap or something like that to put around it because I can't stand that kind of rubber that gets very sticky. To lower it, we grab it right here and it just drops, and watch your fingers because it will smash into them. So I'm gonna finish showing you the bag, then I'll go back and show you the hook and the clips. so that you can see the bag first and then stick around if you want to see that. To open the bag, it's easier to get this out of the way. On the front edge here, we got a top pouch. It is not terribly deep, so it goes down to about here. And there's another, I guess, pouch on the inside here with a zipper, but it is removable. It's just held in with Velcro, so you could pull that out. Then we have a zipper pouch right here, which is this whole front area. And then on the edge, we got another zipper and got another big area right here. And it is the entire area of this front. Then we have the main compartment. On the flap, we have a mesh pocket. And then the rest of it, there's nothing special. There's just one big compartment. It does have a divider. You can move that in various places along here. There's Velcro, so you can move this wherever you want it or take it out completely. A couple of straps to hold stuff in here if you need them. What I've been doing is I've been putting my clothes down here, and then I carry food items or whatever up in this top compartment. So when I ordered this bag, I did opt to get this strap to hold this J-hook more stable. However, I ordered it separately thinking that it would come faster, because it says if you add this to the bag when you're checking out, it says allow up to an extra 2 weeks. And that is because this thing is riveted on here. I thought that I was gonna be able to get this strap and just add it to the bag myself, because I didn't have 2 weeks to wait for it. I was less than a week away from going on my first trip, and I was hoping to get it before then, which I did. I'm glad that I did. They did end up adding this to the bag. It didn't come separately, and it's kind of a good thing because it is riveted on here. I thought it was just screwed on here, but they use a combination of rivets and screws on the bag. So I'm guessing the rivets are just because they're more low profile and low snag, but then they have screws down here and up here, so they're kind of back and forth. Which brings me to the issue that I see on the reviews. Since this is the newer style, I guess they switched the way that this opens. I'm guessing it used to unzip from this edge maybe. What it said was the handle is on the opposite side of this opening. So this is the hinge side right here, so it opens from this side, and the handle is on this side. So that is one of the issues that people were complaining about. So I was thinking I could swap this handle to the other side. Well, it is riveted in here, and yes, I can switch this to the other side. I am capable. I have the knowledge, I have the technology, I have the ability. So what I decided to do is I was just gonna order an extra handle, but I could not find a replacement handle. So what I did is I ordered some embroidered straps that I can add to this, and that's what I'm gonna end up doing. Now, it's not exactly the same size. It doesn't match up perfectly, but it will still work for my purposes and what I wanna do with this. I'm gonna put one of them on the top, because I ordered 2 of them. I'm gonna put one on the top, and then I'm gonna add the second one to the side on the other side. So then I will have handles on both sides. Stay tuned to the end of the video, and I'm gonna show you how to do that in case you are curious. Now, this is my Contrail flight bag. This is what I've been using. And I hang this on the hook off from the front, and that's how I use it. It will go on over the handle, but I find that it balances better being hung off the front. This is the Contrail 390P, if you are curious. I did do a video on it, so you can go and check that out, comparing it to the 410P. The 410P would have been a little bit wider, and it definitely would have been wider than this bag. If I place it on top, that's what it looks like, but it does add more weight to the handle because of leverage. That's a thing, and so it's gonna add more weight up here. On the back, we have a big flap here, so we could put it over the handle if we want to. Or like I mentioned, these clips earlier in the video, this has 2 buckles on the back side, and we could snap that together. And we could hang it off the front. Although it is getting pretty front heavy, but I think it would be fine. Give you an idea how that would look. I don't know if I would use it like that or not. And I told you if you stuck around towards the end that I would show you how to install the extra handle. I get it, people don't like to have to do something. They just rather complain about it. But since this is a DIY channel, this is a perfect excuse to do something DIY. So what we're gonna need for this is a handle, of course. We're gonna need rivets. I grabbed these off from Amazon. They are 1/2 inch long, 3/16 wide, and the head is, I believe, 5/8 inch wide. I'll leave a link in the description if you want these rivets. You will obviously also need a rivet gun, so I'll leave a link in the description if you need one of those. Although if you don't already have this stuff, maybe you don't want to buy it just to do this, but whatever. I already have this stuff. 3/16 drill bit, and of course a drill. And I'm gonna throw some washers on the inside because that's how they have these rivets installed. We are not gonna drill out these rivets because this handle is wider than what these rivets are. So I'm gonna leave these rivets alone. First step is to figure out where I want the handle, and then I'm gonna hopefully mark it. It is black, I'm using a black marker because that's what I have. If it makes it easier, I'm gonna start with the first 2 holes, get it set, and then do the other 2, because it's gonna be too hard to try and hold it. It's gonna be much easier this way. Now, these 2 rivets go through the material on the inside of the bag. To do that, try not to use your fingers because you can definitely injure yourself. Use a block of wood and just press that. That's gonna keep the material in place. Now, after drilling through that aluminum, you'll have some burrs on the edge. You could use probably a knife, or you could just use a drill bit of a larger size to get rid of those burrs and smooth it out. So we can take the rivet, the washer goes on the inside of the bag. So I wanted to make sure that I showed you how to get to the inside. There's a hard panel on here. This edge is kind of tucked behind the rail. So you got to pull that up, and this whole thing will open up. And there are my 2 rivets there with the washers. This is the one that they installed, and over here on this side. Now, I did say 1/2 inch length in the rivets. I will put 3/4 inch. That's gonna be a lot better. These are just barely in there and barely caught onto the washer. I think it'll be fine, but I can always replace this later with 3/4 inch length. So I will put 3/4 inch in the description so you won't run into that problem. And that's the way it turned out on my bag. It'll be just fine. I think it'll work without any issues. And for comparison, this is what theirs looks like. It's smaller and only held in with 2 rivets. This is bigger and held in with 4 rivets. Still think it's just fine. As far as the top handle goes, that's just 4 screws. And if you don't know how to use a screwdriver, you probably don't have the skills to put on the handle. And I know what some of you are thinking. For a bag that costs $440, why do you have to add a handle in on the other side? I don't mind doing that. It's not that big a deal. At least I'm able to do it, and they didn't design it in a way that I am not even capable of doing that. That would make me madder than me just having to do it myself. Although maybe they should consider putting it on that side instead of on this side, or why not just put one on both sides? It's not gonna increase the cost that much more. The rivets are there anyway. Just throw a handle on the other side as well. As far as the 737 bag goes, I chose to go with it to try and future-proof myself in case I ended up going to a particular airline that only flies 737s. So I just felt like it was easier just to order the 737 without those side pockets and just kind of future-proof myself rather than having to buy another bag. So I do hope that that helps some of you out there that is considering the LuggageWorks Stealth Premier, at least this particular one, or this might even help you with some of the other Stealth Premier 22-inch bags. The ones that aren't the specific 737 ones just have extra side pockets, but obviously don't have that, but at least you kind of get the general idea. I didn't find any videos on it, so I wanted to do this one. I hope that helps you out there. We'll catch you on the next project. See ya.